Our story starts back in May of 2004. Myself and Sarah were due to get married in about 6 to 8 weeks when Sarah was feeling slightly unwell, decided to go to the doctors, and while she was at the doctors he said that she should go to the hospital for some blood tests. When the results came back the next day, we found out that the wedding was going to have to be postponed because unfortunately Sarah had acute myeloid leukemia. She then went through 4 courses of intensive chemotherapy, which was all quite hard work, but she did really well. We got to November and she ended her treatment, and we thought that everything had gone really well, and our wedding that we'd postponed we managed to have in March of 2005, possibly the happiest day of my life.
In December of 2005 I went along to the hospital for my regular blood tests, which I was doing every month, and my doctor was concerned by the results, and I had to go back and have a bone marrow biopsy. And unfortunately, really a few days before Christmas of 2005, I was told that I'd relapsed, and that this time chemotherapy wouldn't be enough to keep it away, and I would have to have chemotherapy, radiotherapy and a bone marrow transplant. We were well aware of the low numbers of black or mixed race donors on the bone marrow register. And we already knew that this could possibly be an issue. Our first hope was that my sister would be a match. Unfortunately she wasn't, and it's about 2 years ago, about a year ago to today, that we started our search for a match for me. We worked very closely with the African Caribbean Leukaemia Trust.
The African Caribbean Leukaemia Trust is today at a church in London on a drive to get more black people to put their names down on the register and become potential bone marrow donors. Mark and Sarah are also at hand to provide some support.
I've just registered as a donor for being a bone marrow donor and also stem blood cells. The reason is a friend of mine has just been diagnosed with leukemia, and I hadn't really thought about this earlier, but having a close friend of mine diagnosed with leukemia, I thought I want to do as much as I can to help him, and if I can, help others.
With the help of the ACLT, Sarah was eventually able to find a match for a marrow transplant.
It took a while before I actually had my transplant, and I had to have some extra chemo in between. I did have my transplant on the 17th of November 2006, and 3 months later I'm doing very well. We're very happy and obviously eternally grateful to my donor, because if that person hadn't been as selfless as they were, I wouldn't be here today. That is that's a fact. If I didn't have my donor's cells inside me, I would have died. So I just, I hope anybody watching this now will realise just how imperative it is to do something for someone else. Join the register. It takes such a small amount of your time, and you could save a life.
This is something that you can do whilst you're still alive, and something that we as a community, as black and mixed race people, can do for each other. And it's just so heartwarming when you get these stories of how people like Sarah have been saved by other people.
Young black men make the best donors, and young black men have been getting a lot of bad press recently, and it is heartwarming when you go along to a drive and there are a lot of young people there, especially young black men. Some people are a little scared about joining the register. Some people think that their identity is going to be kept on file and used against them or something, but that just isn't the case. It really isn't. People aren't interested in that. They just want to find a match for somebody who, if they don't get one, will die, basically.